If you've ever signed a client who seemed perfect only to have them refund 3 weeks later, while almost turning away someone who became your best client for years, it's not because you're bad at sales. It's because you're judging prospect quality by the wrong signals. So what if the signals you've been using to judge your prospects are actually the reason you keep attracting nightmare clients? I'm going to show you the psychology patterns I've used to build multiple seven-figure businesses, because if you're selling anything, you need to understand how buying decisions actually work. Not so you can manipulate people, but so you can identify the right clients and help them make confident decisions faster. Over the past decade, I've worked with clients like Google, Amazon, and Meta, and watched thousands of buying decisions play out in real time. And what I've discovered is that everyone gets this backwards. They think fast buyers are confident and slow buyers are indecisive, but that's not what the data shows. Your best clients do take longer to buy, but not for the reason you think. They're not slow because they're scared, they're slow because they're doing proper due diligence. But here's what nobody tells you. If you structure your content and sales process right, those same high-quality buyers can decide fast because they're prepared, not impulsive. The question is, will you keep judging prospects by speed and signing the wrong clients, or will you learn the psychological patterns that predict who becomes a nightmare client versus who stays for years? Well, that's what this video is about. And in it, I'm going to walk you through the two types of fast buyers, the two types of slow buyers, and exactly how to tell the difference before they ever sign with you. And the first distinction I'm going to share completely changed who I work with. So let me show you exactly what I mean. Think of buying decisions like building a house. Some people want to inspect the foundation and check the wiring and test the plumbing before they move in. Others just want a roof over their head, even if it collapses in 3 months. Most people think that all fast buyers are the same, but they're not. And if you can't spot the difference, you'll end up wasting months on clients who shouldn't have signed in the first place. Let's start with a prepared fast buyer. These are your dream clients. They decide quickly, but not impulsively. I had a guy book a call and sign on the same day, but in that 30-minute conversation, he asked 14 questions, and not generic questions either. We're talking specific ones. He'd already watched a dozen of my videos. He referenced specific case studies, like in your financial services example, you mentioned the 90-day implementation timeline. Would that change for our size of company? He understood his problem clearly, not I need more customers, but we're losing 40% of leads between first contact and first appointment, and I think it's our follow-up system. He wanted to know what he'd need to do on his end, so he asked me to walk him through what happens after we sign up, and what do you need from us in order to make this successful. He also asked about fit and potential problems, like when is this a bad fit, and what are common mistakes that people make. That is a prepared buyer. He'd done his homework before we ever talked, so the decision was fast because he was already educated, not because he was making a decision impulsively. And he ended up being one of my best clients, who ended up staying on for 36 months. But now let me tell you about a disaster. Different guy, signed up around the same time, and who also seemed enthusiastic and ready to go. But looking back, I realized he never once asked about the process, never asked what he would need to do, never asked if we'd worked with his type of business before. His questions were all outcome focused, with no process curiosity. These are things like, how fast can I see results, and when will this pay for itself? When I did try to explain what he would need to commit to on his end, he kept saying, well, that's why I'm hiring you, right? Like he expected some kind of magic instead of a strategic partnership. He had this sort of vague urgency, but couldn't explain the actual problem, and kept saying things like, I just need to start making money, and nothing else has worked. And here's the key tell that I missed. He didn't ask a single question about what could go wrong. There were no questions about refund policy, no concerns about being a good fit, no hesitation at all, just where do I sign? Now, admittedly, at the time, I thought that this lack of friction meant that he was confident, but it actually meant that he was desperate. Sure enough, 2 weeks in, he was frustrated that results weren't immediate. 3 weeks in, and he requested a refund because, to quote him, this requires more work than I thought. Now, of course it required work. I explained that on the call, but he wasn't listening to understand. He was listening to buy, and that's the psychology difference. Here's what I learned. Prepared buyers ask about the foundation before they move in. Desperate buyers just want a roof. Any roof, and then they're going to blame you when it leaks. So if fast buyers can be amazing or terrible depending on preparation versus desperation, what about slow buyers? Well, here's where most business owners and entrepreneurs mess up. They celebrate slow decision makers as thoughtful when those prospects are actually showing major red flags. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most slow buyers aren't doing thoughtful research, they're just stuck. And there's a huge difference between someone who's doing genuine due diligence and someone who's wasting your time. So let's talk about the genuine one first. The genuine due diligence buyers are the ones worth waiting for. They take time, but they're using that time well. I once had a client who took almost 6 months to sign, but every week she was making progress. First conversation, how does this work? So general questions about the process. Second conversation, how would this work for our specific situation? So she'd watched my content and now wanted to understand how to use it. Third conversation, our team is small, can we still handle the client work that you talked about? So she'd clearly read the detailed breakdown that I'd sent before. Anyway, the point here is between each conversation, she was reading content. She'd email me, read your case study on the health and wellness industry, how would this work for our insurance companies? Or talk to my business partner, we've got 3 different questions about how to get started. She had a clear timeline with a real business reason. We're putting this in place in Q2, so I need to decide by mid-January. When she finally signed, starting up was easy because she understood exactly what she was getting into. So there were no surprises, no unrealistic expectations, no, I didn't know I'd have to do that. She ended up staying with me for over 2 years and has sent me at least 3 other clients. And that's due diligence. It may look slow from the outside, but she's actually moving carefully forward toward a confident decision. Then there's the other kind, the kind who drains your time and energy while going nowhere. We call them the stuck slow buyer. Now, to be fair, not everyone who's stuck is lazy or playing games. Some people are just overwhelmed or confused or burned from a bad past experience. But here's the difference. They stay stuck. They don't move forward, even when you give them everything they need in order to do so. I spent 3 months nurturing a prospect like this once. 3 months. Weekly emails, sent him resources, answered his questions, custom proposal, 2 follow-up calls. But looking back, he was showing me the red flags right from day one. I just didn't want to see them. His questions never progressed. Week 1, he asked, how does this work? Week 6, he was still asking, how does this work? He wasn't building on previous conversations. He was just circling around them. When I asked, what specifically do you need to figure out? He gave me vague answers like, I just want to make sure it's right, or I just need some time to look at other options. He had no real timeline. Everything was maybe, or eventually, or when things settle down. Finally, after 3 months, I asked directly, what specifically needs to happen for you to make a decision? His answer? I need to see if my business partner agrees this is a priority. Not so fun fact, the business partner hadn't even been part of a single conversation. This guy didn't have the authority to buy, and he'd been wasting both of our time pretending that he did. These kind of stuck, slow prospects aren't being thoughtful. They're either not the real decision maker, they don't have the budget allocated, or they don't actually understand their problem well enough to know if you're the solution. So we've got 4 types. Prepared buyers who are perfect, desperate fast buyers who are disasters, due diligent slow buyers who are worth the wait, and stuck slow buyers who waste your time. The question is, how do you tell the difference early enough to focus your energy on the right people? That's where most people completely miss the opportunity, and it's the part that changed everything for me. Here's what I realized. My best clients weren't taking longer to buy because they were naturally slow. They were taking longer because they had to do all of the research during our sales conversations. Every discovery call was pretty much the exact same pattern. I'd spend the first 30 to 45 minutes explaining how my process works, what the timeline looks like, what they'd need to do versus what I would handle, what to expect in the first 30, 60, 90 days, what typically goes wrong, and how we handle it. Basically, I was a human FAQ machine. And worse, I was attracting people who wanted me to educate them personally rather than people who'd done their homework ahead of time. Then I had this thought, what if I could give my prospects a map before the journey? That way, they didn't show up asking which direction to go. They were already halfway to the destination. And that led me to create the question preemption strategy, which is a bit of a mouthful to say. I made a list of every question that prospects asked me in discovery calls, and it turns out about 80% of questions fall into 7 different categories. How does this actually work? What do I need to do on my end? How long does this take? What should I expect in the first month? What happens if I can't keep up with my part? Have you ever worked with my type of business or market or industry before? And what's your refund policy and why? So I created content that answered each question thoroughly. Not surface level blog posts. We're talking deep, specific content. A 7-minute video walking through my entire process week by week. A detailed article breaking down client responsibilities versus what I handle with specific time commitments. A case study library organized by industry showing real results and timelines. A candid when this doesn't work piece explaining the situations where people should not work with me. And for the record, I was very clear about the kinds of people that should not work with me, which not only cut down on my nightmare clients, but also positioned me as a very selective expert and authority, rather than someone who would work with just anybody who asked. Then I did something that felt, well, risky. I made all of this required before a discovery call. When someone booked a call, the confirmation email said, to make the best use of our time together, please watch the 7-minute process overview and review the case study from your industry. This way, we can focus our conversation on your specific situation rather than general questions. And well, Here's what happened. At first, I thought I'd tank my show up rates. I was asking people to do homework before talking to me. Funny enough, about 40% of people never watched the content and canceled their call. Now, I'll admit, initially that did feel like a failure, but then I looked at my conversion data from the previous 6 months. Those 40% of people who dropped out and canceled their call, they were almost certainly going to be tire kickers anyway. The ones asking those endless questions without any authority to buy, the ones who'd need to think about it for months on end. But the 60% of people who did watch the content and who showed up, they came prepared. Instead of questions like, how does this work? They asked, how would this work with our specific situation? Instead of, what do I need to do? They asked, our team is small. Can we still handle the client responsibilities that you outlined? Instead of, how long does this take? They asked, you mentioned 90 days to full implementation, but what if we need results by Q2? They'd already answered their basic questions through my content. Now they were asking about application to their specific context. And here's what happened. My average discovery call went from 45 minutes to 25 minutes. My close rate went from 32 to 78%, and my refund rate dropped from about 13% to under 1%. And here's the psychology behind why all this works. When prospects find your answers to their questions through your content, 3 things happen psychologically. First, they trust you more. You anticipated their concerns before they even asked. This builds credibility in a way that answering questions on a call never does. Second, they self-qualify. If your process doesn't fit their situation, they drop out before wasting your time. The ones who stay are genuinely interested and genuinely capable of doing what you need from them. Third, they arrive prepared. They're not learning about you on the discovery call. They're just evaluating fit for their specific context. And here's the insight that connects everything. Those high quality buyers who used to take 2 to 3 weeks to decide while they did research, well, they now decide in days, sometimes hours, because they've already done the research through your content. You're not changing who your best clients are. You're just front loading the education that used to happen during the sales process. The prepared, fast buyers were always your best clients. You just weren't making it easy enough for them to prepare. So now you've got content that pre-educates prospects and filters out the time wasters. But you still need a way to quickly evaluate the people who do show up to talk to you. That's where this next system comes in. The fastest way I've found to categorize prospects in real time. This is the framework I use on every single discovery call now. It takes about 5 minutes to assess, and it tells me everything I know about how to proceed. You're going to rank your prospects into 3 different categories, the first of which being the green light for prepared fast buyers. These are the prospects that you want to fast track. Here's what you're looking for. They reference specific content that you created, not vaguely like, I watched some of your videos, but specifically like in your process walkthrough video, you mentioned the 30-day onboarding. I've got a question about that. They ask application questions, not basic questions. They already understand the fundamentals. Now they want to know how it applies to their situation. They clearly understand their problem. They can explain specifically what's not working and why it matters to their business. They ask about their role and responsibilities. In other words, what do we need to do on our end? Well, this is a green light question because it shows that they understand that this is a partnership, not magic. They have authority and budget clarity. They can either make the decision or they've brought the decision maker into the conversation. When you see these signals, you want to speed up your process. Do not make them wait. They're ready, they're qualified, and someone else might scoop them up if you move too slowly. Next is the yellow light, unprepared but reachable buyer. These prospects might be great, but they're not ready yet. Here's what you're seeing. They haven't consumed the content you sent. They show up to the call with all the basic questions that your pre-education material was supposed to answer. They're asking fundamental questions that show that they don't fully understand what you do yet. They seem genuine and have real problems, but they're not educated enough to make a good decision right now. So here's how you handle yellow light prospects. First, don't try to close them on the spot. Instead, you want to send them back to your pre-education content with a specific assignment. Try something like, I want to make sure this is the right fit for you. Before we go further, I'd like you to watch this 7-minute video and review this case study from your industry. Then let's reconnect next week to discuss your specific situation. If they do the homework and come back with better questions, they turn green. If they don't do it or come back with the same surface level questions, they're probably red. They're just not ready or not serious. So lastly, let's talk about red light, wrong fit buyers now. These are the prospects you politely turn down or put last. Here's the signals. They won't read content you send them, you've given them resources twice, and they still show up unprepared with the same questions. They keep asking questions that you've already answered, and they're not listening, they're just waiting to talk. They have no authority or no budget clarity, and the people who do have authority never get involved in the conversation. They're looking for magic and not partnership, and they ask questions like, can you just handle everything, without any curiosity or questions about their role in this success. Also, they may show signs of desperation or unrealistic urgency without any clear reasoning behind it, and that is a major red flag. Now, when you see these signals, the best thing to do is to be honest. Say something like, based on what you're describing, I'm not sure we're the right fit. Here's a couple resources that might help you, but I don't think you should move forward with us right now. Most of the time, they're going to thank you for your honesty. Occasionally, they'll get defensive, which confirms that you made the right call. On every discovery call, I mentally categorize the person within the first 10 minutes, green, yellow, or red. Green lights get my full attention and a path to start immediately. Yellow lights get sent to pre-education content and a follow-up scheduled. Red lights get a polite decline and some free resources. This system has saved me hundreds of hours, probably thousands, and eliminated almost all of my problem clients. So now you know how to recognize your best buyers, how to educate them efficiently through content, and how to filter prospects in real time. But what if this entire process could run like a well-oiled machine, even while you're asleep or on vacation? Well, let me show you the exact system that makes that possible. First, here's the reality. Everything I just described requires tracking a lot of different moving pieces. You need to know who consumed which content before their call, what questions they asked and when, how they progressed through your education sequence, which prospects are green, yellow, or red, and when to follow up with each type. You could do this manually with spreadsheets and calendar reminders. I did that for about 6 months, but it was miserable. Or you could build a system that tracks all of this automatically. That's where something like High Level becomes essential. It's what I use to run this entire process. When someone books a discovery call, they automatically get a series of pre-education emails with the content they need to review. High Level tracks whether they open the emails and click through to watch the videos or read the articles. When they show up on the call, I can see exactly which content they read. That tells me right away if they're green, yellow, or red before they even say hello. After the call, based on how I sort them, they go into different follow-up sequences. Green lights get a simple onboarding sequence to move them forward fast. Yellow lights get more education content and a scheduled follow-up. And red lights get a polite decline email with some helpful free resources. And all of this happens automatically once I set it up. I'm not manually sending emails or trying to remember who needs what. And here's the part that really matters for the psychology we've been talking about. The system lets me help the right people at the right speed. Fast, prepared buyers don't have to wait for my random sales process timeline. They can move as fast as they want. Real due diligence buyers get the space and resources they need to make a confident decision without me chasing them. And the time wasters and penny pinchers and tire kickers, they get filtered out automatically without draining my energy. Remember the core insight here. Your best clients take longer to buy because they're doing proper due diligence. But if you pre-educate them with content, they can move fast while still being thorough. If your sales process right now is like a maze, this system turns it into a straight line. But it only works if you have a system that delivers the right content at the right time and tracks engagement, so you know who's actually preparing versus who's just taking up space on your calendar. So if you want to shortcut the entire setup and copy exactly how I run this in High Level, I've got a link to an extended free trial down in the descriptions below this video that's going to give you full access to get this set up in your own business. The link's in the descriptions below and you'll get access to the exact system, the email sequence, the content delivery, everything. And if you want to go deeper on understanding customer psychology and what actually drives buying decisions, I've got another video linked up right here that breaks down the specific psychological triggers that separate browsers from buyers. So feel free to tap or click that now and see you in there in just a second.